It's week 4 of the 2025 season, and we've got a showdown in the AFC North. It's the Browns and the reigning Super Bowl champs, and it's coming up next.
Built on the site of a former piano factory, there's been plenty of music made on the field here in the decade since it opened back in 1998. Welcome, everyone, to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Joined by a former NFL quarterback up in the booth, Mr. Brock Heward. I'm Kate Scott. And Brock, you can brag if you'd like to, because I know you had quite the big arm in your days with the Huskies and the Seahawks in Seattle. Well, we've got a couple of quarterbacks. Two of the NFL's best starts challenging each other here. Off we go in a Week 4 showdown. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. So the Ravens offense taking over for the first time here. And they're brought out by someone who is the modern example of an elite running quarterback, the multiple-time MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Nobody came away happy last week, no question about it. Himself, most of all. His team went 0-1, picking up the loss, but he was 0-1. One pick, no touchdowns. Not good enough. Defeat not an option this week, and neither is a lack of touchdowns. They intend to rectify both.
Henry gets it here to start the drive. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Shotgun snap to Jackson. He's got Andrews. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Their rookie out of Oklahoma there to make that play. 5 men in the secondary for the Browns. Third down coming.
Come on, come on.
Mitchell gets it from the gun. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. Starts his return from the 23. And he didn't quite break it, but still an excellent return that gets him up near midfield. Found his way through most of the kicking team. He picked up 25 on that return. And it'll be their football. So here are the Browns now, headed out for their first drive. And it'll be their rookie QB who brings them out.
And when we look back at last week's win, Kate, pretty easy to see those 4 touchdowns had a lot more of an impact on the game than the 1 interception he threw. Wasn't quite perfect. I'm sure that pick will nag at him, but you'd welcome an encore of everything else he was doing in that ball game.
Here we go, set.
They go play action on first. It's caught. That's Calvin Austin. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
To throw here on first down. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And it's going to be 2nd down. Here's a give up the middle. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Throwing now from the gun. That's caught for the first. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
They are now set for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. That one is swatted away, incomplete, but there's a flag down in the secondary, and I think they're going to get somebody here for holding. You got a major fistful of jersey on that play, and it's going to end up costing them. And holding penalty is going to make 1st down twice as tough. They're 20 from the marker to start things out. Throwing from the gun here. Tried to float that one in, and the defender's there for the interception. There he goes on the right side. And it's a pick six as he runs it in for the touchdown. Well, that certainly wasn't the end result he was after there, Brock. A big play to start the scoring, but we can definitely say this was not his intention, letting that pass go.
No, a lot of game left, though, and that's a positive. And you know what? He's going to have a chance to totally redeem himself after that one.
On for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Ravens will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. Calvin Austin on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. Second drive coming up for this Cleveland offense. They aren't even quite sure what this team is going to settle in as this season, Brock, but already this is an important contest for them that could have postseason implications down the line. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
1st and 10 from the 41. They're throwing it. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything. They just did.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. Austin's there to haul it in. And they're going to bring him down at the 36. They are throwing it again. Catch made by Austin. And he's going to be taken down a yard shy of the 25. Upping the tempo with some hurry-up offense. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Here's the give on 3rd and short. And he's brought down for a loss. Everybody rushing back to the line. motioning him from the slot right. They're going a little pop pass here, sweeping across. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. And that run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs. This, our last play of the quarter. On first down, Jackson. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. He was looking for Mark Andrews. So it's second down coming up. Chance here for one final play before the end of the quarter. Lamar now from the gun. Finds his man. It's Rashad Bateman. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That'll be the end of one in this. Back at beginning of the second quarter, Ravens in possession. They've got 1st and 10 here, looking to add to their lead. From the gun, a run for Henry. And he's got it up to midfield and into Browns territory. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Yo, 13.
Running out of the gun with Mitchell. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Blitz coming, Lamar. Andrews with the catch. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. And that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end. Well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
And it sails out of bounds. That's a good kick. Got all the way down to what looks like the 10-yard line before leaving the field. Now we see the Browns offense headed out. And this is an interesting game for both they and their rivals across from them, Brock, getting a key division matchup so early in this season. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. That one vehemently swatted away. So it'll be 2nd down. That's complete, David Njoku. And he's able to get it to the 21 as he goes down.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense.
A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond.
Still 2nd down.
So things getting a bit tougher following that penalty. We got 2nd and 15. Pushes them back, 3rd down coming up.
This is a time where you get in that huddle and you just look at one another and say, hey, let's get back in rhythm. Get back in rhythm. Get something good to feel good about. Sure, you'd love to get the 1st down, but more than anything, just find a positive play after a huge sack.
From his own end zone on 3rd and long. Escapes out to the left. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up. Browns are lining up to punt. And his first effort, a tough one. It's going to come from the back of his own end zone. He was only needed twice in last week's win, and he gets this one away. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Now elsewhere on the return, there's an injured player in need of some attention, which he will get as trainers head his way. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Mitchell takes it straight ahead. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more. We're going to have a stoppage here as we look to see that's Rashad Bateman, who was injured on the play. He's being tended to. This is Henry on second. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him about 3 yards, and now they're going to have 3rd and 5 to figure out. Now Jackson. That's going to be caught by Mitchell. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Into the hands of Walker. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down. That brings us to the 2-minute warning at the Inner Harbor. The Ravens in possession. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. Gets this one to Andrews. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Mitchell up the middle. Juke the defender. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. That's good for 6 yards, but it sets up 4th down. The Browns take the first of their 3 timeouts. Less than a yard needed here on 4th. Pistol snap to Jackson. And all their pressure gets it done. That's a sack on 4th down as they force the turnover. Now a timeout's called, Cleveland using its 2nd. And they'll take this opportunity to discuss what's next over on their sideline. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. Tap the 60. Tap the 60. 69. 70 ring. 70 ring. Tap the 11. Tap the 11. 19 Lions.
Trying to throw here out of the gun. Finds his back complete. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Browns fighting the clock now, trying to hurry back to that line. And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be 3rd down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Throwing on 3rd and long. And that one's too far in front of them, so now they're facing 4th down.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Big kick on that one, 62 yards. And the Ravens will go on offense. Markers reset, ball at the 37. They send a man in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Escapes the pocket. And he protects himself with a slide there after a decent gain. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Now Jackson off the play action. Completed over the middle. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. They have themselves another 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Heaves this one for the back of the end zone. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens will add to their lead at the end of the half. It's a Taz Walker touchdown. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is.
Now we have a stoppage, no challenge. So the celebration can resume on that sideline. The touchdown stands. McManus there to tack on the point after. And the Ravens double their lead to 14. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. From a couple of yards deep, this is going to come out. He stopped on the return at the 27. They've got 1st and 10, Bronk, but time for maybe 2 plays at most if they even want to try anything. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And good tackle, but a flag is down, likely against the defense. Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach. Looking to throw. He's throwing deep to the left side. That's complete inside the 35. And he flips the field for them before being taken down. So we've reached halftime here in Baltimore. The Ravens flying into the break with a lead. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan. Well, I hope everybody was lightning quick, ready to grab a refill or a bite to eat, because no halftime report this week. Everyone's set to get the 3rd quarter underway. The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. McCole Hardman now on the return. Races past midfield. And the tackle saves a touchdown, but they still take over inside the red zone.
You know, Kate, it's fun talking to these elite kick returners over the years and how much they visualize. As they're sitting back there waiting for the kickoff return, they're visualizing, well, a house call. And there was some serious explosiveness from him on that one. He may not have gotten all the way to the house, but he's setting his offense up in the red zone, which is pretty darn good.
Throwing now from the gun. On the slant, complete to Judy. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. On 2nd and 4. And he makes the catch on the sideline. Oh, but they call it out of bounds. This close to 6.
Well, he had the space from the defender and the concentration to make a great catch. What he didn't have was enough end zone real estate. That's just a very, very exciting incompletion.
Shotgun now on 3rd down. Complete beyond the marker. And he drives this forward to the 6. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Here's a give on 1st and goal. Has the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns cutting into the lead coming out of halftime. Setting up to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Browns chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
Round 7.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. On the return, it's Rondale Moore. He's stopped on the return at the 27. We see the Ravens making their way out now. That lead already smaller than it was at the break, Bronk, and they're going to face a little pressure now on this opening series. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got Andrews. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain from the secondary. Grant Delpit on the tackle. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Lamar back to throw. That's into the hands of Moore. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Henry. And he gets him around 6 there. That was Martin Emerson with a stop that time. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4.
The pickup was 6. Yeah. 2nd and 4.
Lamar now from the gun. Quick slant here, caught by Andrews. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. We give to Henry on the inside handoff. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is you put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play.
2nd and 8. That's taken in by Henry. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore. Now here's Lamar. Andrews with the catch. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and.
One of the tight ends motioning left. They give right side to Henry. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. And the Browns add an extra defensive back out there. Nickel package, 3rd down. Blitz coming, Lamar. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
It's 4th down.
And that boot will instead be what starts our 4th quarter. We've reached the end of the 3rd. It's Ravens ball as they try to keep that lead and close out a win. The Ravens getting ready for the punt. Brian Anger, the one to send it away. No return on this one. It's going to make it out of bounds and across the 25, spotted at the 24. The Cleveland offense back out and getting set for the drive. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. 2nd and 3 now. Blown back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
Ball start, offense.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will take over. First interception of our season.
Well, obviously not the cleanest game without 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out and throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next.
It's a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens go. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. He's going to throw this one. Throw wheeled in by Njoku. And he's going to take this one in for the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns now within 1 score in the 4th. David Njoku, the touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Moore with a return. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30.
Real quick.
1st and 10 now from the 30.
Go ahead. Sit up.
Out of the gun, here's Jackson. He's on the move, trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
At the 26-yard line.
Alpha, sit up. 180. No, we changed it.
Another try following the sack. Escapes the pocket. Now he takes it. Jukes one defender. And he'll get it up to the 44. The big play nets him 17 yards. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
First and 10. Here's Jackson. He's got... This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes it the impact that gets home. But of course we know, it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field for more than a second or two.
And the play clock hits 0. This is going to be delay a game.
Offense.
Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty.
Still second down.
All right, here we go. Second down. Trying again, following the sack. Gets this one to Andrews. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. So a timeout comes in. It looks like the defense using its first stops this game as we get close to our 2-minute warning. Defense looking to defend the marker on third down. He's back to throw. Moore's got it. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. So we will not reach the 2-minute warning. The defense calling time here. 2:08 on the clock. Baltimore lined up in punt formation. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And it's a gain of 5 as we've reached our 2-minute warning. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Oh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, he falls incomplete. Second down coming up. Back to throw. That one doesn't find its man. Incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver there. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. Now to throw. That throw's knocked away and incomplete. 4th down coming up. To throw. And on 4th down, that one won't work. It's incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. On 1st and 10, it's Henry. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. A touchdown would put this one to bed. A few shots at it here, starting with 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
They'll run here with Henry. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. Now the Browns spend their final timeout.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and
With the win in hand, they'll take the knee, let this clock run out.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can.
After one final kneel down, partner, and this should do it. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.